Hey guys, what's up? Zax here. Today we are here to talk about F1 2015. I haven't done a video like this in actually quite a long time, and this is actually, if I remember, like 3 years ago on the build up to F1 2012. I did a lot of videos like this just talking about the game and some stuff like news and that sort of stuff, and I didn't really do a huge amount of that for F1 2014, so I might do a bit more for F1 2015 if you guys would like to see that sort of thing. But anyway, I bet you're thinking at the moment, what on earth is this game playing in the background? What game is this? Well, some of you might be saying that, but basically it's F1 2014 with quite a few mods installed, and you'll see why in a video soon. But I'm not going to spoil it just yet, but just enjoy this gameplay, and you'll see in probably about a week's time what this is all about, and it should be pretty exciting for you guys, and something a little bit different. But anyway, the reason I'm making this video is because I found an article that sort of talks about F1 2015 and some interesting ideas with a possible release date in here. Not an exact release date, but a possible month. So I'm going to sort of talk through this article, and I'll leave it down in the description. I've never actually heard of this website before. It could be some big website, but it's called Venture Capital Post, so I don't know whether it's really a big company or something, but I've never heard of it before. I never really looked at it before, but I just saw this article and it sort of, you know, brought some cool facts up and some maybe possible ideas. So what it's saying is that obviously F1 2015 is going to be released on PS4, Xbox One and PC, and they're saying that the current F1 games are running at 45 to 55 frames per second, and for this new game they're aiming to get 60 FPS. So I never actually really looked into what the current games are like going at in terms of frame rates and that sort of stuff, but I think 60 is the thing you'll be looking at here, because obviously 60 FPS, if I look, I know it's a stupid comparison, but when I look back at my GoPros, one that records in 30 FPS, one that records in 60 FPS, you notice such a big difference. So literally, if they can go from like 45 FPS to 60 FPS, that's going to make a massive difference to the game. It should make it a lot smoother and a lot more enjoyable to play. And obviously F1 or games by Codemasters have always had really good graphics, so I think that's not going to be a problem. But obviously every extra frame per second you can get out of the game, it's going to make it smoother and hopefully nicer for everyone that's actually driving the game. So that's what it looks like they're aiming for, 60 FPS as a bare minimum, and I hope they can, you know, manage to do that. And in terms of like CPU and GPU optimizations, they're also saying that that's ongoing, and hopefully all that stuff gets sorted. But the main bit about this article that I was sort of interested about and that sort of grabbed my eye was that the possible release date. Well, people are saying that this game, F1 2015, could possibly be released in June. Now, that's interesting to me because I honestly thought it was going to be a bit earlier. I thought it was, in all honesty, going to be like April, but I suppose we haven't really heard any news about the game yet. So I wouldn't, you know, I'd assume there's about like a 2 or 3 sort of month build up until the actual game's released, with some sort of teaser trailers, information, all that sort of stuff. So obviously we got some information last year when F1 2014 was launched about obviously the new console it was going to be on and all that sort of stuff, but we haven't really got sort of the nitty-gritty bits of information, if you will, like the interesting bits about the tracks, what extra stuff's going to be in the game, and the new game modes. We haven't really got much of that yet, so that's probably the sort of thing we'll be seeing, I'm hoping, within the next month, in all honesty, because it's been quite a long time we haven't had a lot of information, so I'm hoping we're going to see something soon. But anyway, June. I always like to do this because I think I did this last year in F1 2014, was try and predict the release date, because at the end of the day, if we look back at the history of when games have been released, they've always been released on the Friday of a Grand Prix weekend, or on the sort of build up to a race weekend. So we go and look at the races in June. Basically we have 2 Grand Prix, the Austrian Grand Prix and the Canadian Grand Prix. But then when I looked at the calendar a bit further, I was like, the British Grand Prix is the next one after Canada, I think. So wouldn't that be so cool for it to be released on the British Grand Prix weekend? I think, in all fairness, that could be the best time for them to release this game, is on the build up, the week up to the British Grand Prix. That could be probably the best time to release the game, actually, because obviously a lot of British fans buy this game. I'm not too sure about the percentage on figures and everything, but I'd probably say more British people buy the Formula 1 games than anyone else. I don't know whether that's like saying something wrong in a way, but I see on pretty much everyone's F1 videos, I'd say that English sort of nationality is the biggest out of everyone that watches the videos. I'd also say a lot from Australia as well, and then obviously we have quite a few from Germany. So I'd say maybe they're the 3 biggest nations that you could go for. Obviously Australia is right at the start of the year, so probably not going to be there because they'd obviously need a bit more fine tuning. There's not a German Grand Prix this year, and the British Grand Prix, it sort of goes down the list. It's about halfway through the season, so still time for them to live update through the season. So there's still something for them to do there. So, in all honesty, guys, I know this is a sort of a weird prediction because we haven't really got much information here, but looking at this article and some sort of things that could be happening, it is early July, but it could be that this year's F1 games released around that sort of time, between the Austrian Grand Prix and the British Grand Prix. At least that's what I'm reading in this article, and that's what I'm thinking. So, well, obviously I'd like the game as soon as possible, but I'd rather they polished it and got it as good as possible before releasing. Obviously I wouldn't want them to be polishing it for years and years, but polishing for, you know, at least 3 or 4 months to get the game as good as it possibly could be. I mean, from now, 3 or 4 months, if you're wondering. But yeah, so I'm excited for this game, and obviously we had some leaked pictures recently, or not so recently, but we had some leaked pictures, I think, on a Facebook site, and obviously I did see them, but there's not really too much to say. I mean, I think if I look back at the article, that it did say that they were confirmed to be real from like a source or whatever. I'm not going to link them or anything, guys. I'm sure you guys would have seen them already, but I just thought I'd mention that I have seen them. But you know, if they well, they are real, but obviously some of the things might be changed because they do say that it has to go through the FIA or whatever to, or not the FIA, the Formula 1 Association or whatever, to make sure that everything is in the game that they want to. So that won't be the final game you're seeing there, guys, but I'm not gonna lie, the graphics do look quite cool in it, and I mean, like the graphics on the screen and also the graphics of the cars as well. And overall, just, you know, from the things that we've seen, the leaked pictures and the article and everything, I really do hope F1 2015 is a really good game. I'm really actually excited for it in a way. I'm always excited for F1 games. You know, I'm a massive F1 fan, and I buy the F1 games pretty much whatever happens. But yeah, I do hope it's a really good game. And obviously they've had a lot of time to sort of build this game and perfect it, so I'd really hope that this is the best game that they have ever made, and hopefully it brings back some of those memories from like F1 2010 and that sort of stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and until next time, it's been Alex. I'm out here. Goodbye.